Now, here we go. Now, where are you from before the Vietnam War started?
I lived in Brighton, Massachusetts. I was 17 years old, and my brother was in the Navy, and I was always more or less interested in history. Uh, I watched all the war films, things like that. And so at 17, I'm watching all these people run to Canada. So I ran and enlisted into the Army.
What year was that? When you
That was
enlisted?
1965, May 18th, 1965, I joined the Army. And I wanted to go to Vietnam. So I went to basic training, came home, had a little leave, went back over AIT. I was stationed at Aberdeen Proving Grounds in Maryland. And I was studying via 63 F-20, which is a recovery and evacuation specialist. 5-ton wreckers, tank retrievers, pulling tanks out of mud, stuff like that. And I went to graduate, and everybody in my outfit that was in AIT with me, they were calling the names. Everyone went to Vietnam. And my name was Zagarella, private, so I was always the last one, including getting paid. And they said Germany. So I thought that was kind of odd. So afterwards I went up and says, why am I going to Germany? He says, I want to go to Vietnam. He says, well, you're only 17 and you have to be 18. So I says, well, the recruiter never said anything about that. We did that for a couple of months. Then we were coming around Tet Offensive. Everybody was relaxing a little bit. We were supposed to have the ceasefire. And I was driving a truck to Tonsanute Air Base with my shotgun next to me, my assistant driver. And after we left Tonsanute Air Base, we were just getting out in the gate. There was a big field on the left, and they started dropping mortars in on us, started firing. They hit one of the tankers, and it had diesel fuel in it, so it didn't explode. But the danger of a tanker is when it's empty, there's about 100 gallons left in there. And when you get down to 8 parts of air and 1 part of fuel, it explodes. So the guys that were in the gasoline trucks, they just put the pedal to the metal, and we had a warrant officer in front of us that was leading the convoy, and the guy just went out and kept on telling them to get going, because our orders were to get out of the kill zone. So that's what we wanted to do, but he was in the way. So he screamed out the window and says, you don't get out of my way, I'm gonna go over you. So he stepped on the gas, and we got out, and we were taking fire from both sides. And all of a sudden the mortar went off on my left. Next thing I know, I'm in this guy's lap in the next seat from the concussion. So I grabbed the steering wheel, pulled myself back over. We kept on going. They called it US Route 1. We were stationed in Benoit, which is part of MACV. And we were heading back, and finally, we were just taking fire here and there because it was mostly jungle on both sides. And the guy next to me was shooting, and of course I couldn't shoot, I was driving. And when I got back to the place where we started, we had a tank farm about 5 miles up the road from where we slept, and we'd drive the tankers there and refill them. And they just told us to park them. A lot of the fire bases, we couldn't drive there anyway because of, obviously, the Tet Offensive. So we had Chinooks come in, would fill 5,000-gallon bladders, and would take them to the different fire bases, and would drop them and get right the heck out of there. And we would go back and forth, and that's how we resupplied them. Okay, so after all of this, I matured. I stopped my evil ways. I had some good jobs. I decided I wanted to go in and help other people and some camaraderie with friends and stuff. So I joined the American Legion. We have a lot of good times there, good friends, good eats, good bands. I also was a life member in the DAV and the VFW. I'm the junior vice commander of the VFW in Milford. I was a senior vice commander, but they got closed down for doing bad things, so I resigned, and then after they came back and opened it back up, I went down there, and now I'm the junior vice commander there, and we're doing good things. They're making profits. So mostly I come here because it's close to the house. I'm a member here, have been for a few years, and I like the people here. And we try to do good things for other veterans, not that the other clubs don't either. But I think probably the Legion does the best. They have baseball for the kids. They have Christmas and gifts they collect for the kids. And they help the community. They help other veterans. They visit people that are in the hospital. And probably makes up for all the bad stuff I did when I was younger. But I enjoy it. So I'm here to stay. Right now I'm 71, and I don't have any other plans other than to continue what I'm doing.